Have you ever noticed that when you search for something on Google, you'll often get millions, sometimes even billions of search results? You've probably also noticed that the answers to your questions are almost always near the top of your results page. So, how is Google so good at narrowing down all those results to the ones it thinks you'll find most useful? The answer is that it uses an algorithm. To understand why we see what we see when we do a search, we need to understand what an algorithm is and how Google's works. An algorithm is just a sequence of steps that can be used to solve a problem. For example, to solve a Rubik's Cube, you can use an algorithm. If you follow the right instructions and rotate the blocks in certain ways, you'll get them back into their original position. A recipe for cake is also an algorithm. Follow the steps by adding the right ingredients at the right time and you'll end up with a delicious dessert. When it comes to doing searches online, we tell Google what we want to know, and it follows a set of instructions to show us the results it thinks we want to see. While the exact details of Google's algorithm are a secret, we do know some of the basics. Google starts by taking your query and looking for matching keywords that will appear in its database of web pages. It doesn't look through every web page online in real time. That would take far too long. Instead, Google and other search engines uses programs called web crawlers or spiders that are always crawling around the internet finding new or updated web pages. They read all of the content and code on a page so they can tag it appropriately and organize it into their database. This process allows Google to provide results to your query very quickly. Google also takes into account results that it thinks will be most relevant or applicable to you. For example, Google will use your location to help narrow down search results. So if you're searching for movie theaters near me, your results will be, well, near you. That's great because chances are you don't want the same results to show up for people living in Sackville, New Brunswick, and Whitehorse in the Yukon. When you search also makes a difference. So, if you search for Olympic Games, the algorithm will make an educated guess that you are interested in the most recent or upcoming events, not the ones from 10 years ago. Another big part of a website's place in your search results has to do with its quality. How does Google determine if a website is of high quality? Well, one way is by tracking how many other websites link to it. For example, let's say you create a new website. It might not show up in many searches at first, but if a lot of other websites start to link to it, it becomes more popular, and it might start moving up on lists of search results. And if a really notable website links to yours, like a major media company or government website, that will give an even bigger boost. Who knows, it might even end up right at the top of the page. The content or answers we're looking for can often be found on the websites near the top of our search results. But some people try to take advantage of Google's algorithm by fooling it into thinking their website is more relevant and of higher quality than it really is. They do this by including keywords on their website they think people will be searching for, and by creating other websites with lots of links to each other so they seem more popular. That means that while the Google algorithm is very good at its job, there can be plenty of relevant results that don't make it to the top of the page, and not everything that shows up first is worth a click.